First, the top news headlines. One more body recovered from Barak River, bringing toll to 6 as public believes victims are abducted, 6 women and children by suspected Kukimar militants. Government withholds confirmation. Government discontinues senior SP Nectar and launches investigation after alleged involvement in fatal shooting and injury of mob incident. BJP Jiribam Bundle office bearers resign over worsening situation in Manipur, cite helplessness amid growing crisis. NPP President Conrad Sangma reaffirms withdrawal of support for N. Biren Singh's BJP government in Manipur, stresses reconsideration pending leadership changes or peace initiatives. NPF pledges loyalty to N. Biren-led government, unlike NPP stance, condemns killing of abducted women and children by Kuki militants. And Congress demands resignations of Amit Shah and N. Biren over escalating violence in Manipur, criticizes Modi for inaction and calls for accountability. A very good evening. You're watching IS Prime Time English News. This is Suraj Khongban Tabam giving you the news. Now the news in detail. One more body was pulled from the Barak River today in the Nungai area of Singarban, Part 4, Lakhipur, bringing the total number of bodies recovered in the past week to 6. The body, believed to be that of 25-year-old Laishram Haitombi Devi, was pulled from the river by local fishermen and later retrieved by a team from the Lakhipur police station. The discovery comes a day after 2 other bodies, those of a child and a woman, were found in separate incidents in the same river. Over the past few days, a total of 6 bodies have been recovered, raising concerns about a possible link to the recent violence in the region. The discovery of these 6 bodies has fueled public speculation that they belong to the 6 women and children abducted by suspected Kuki militants during the violent attack in Jiribam on November 11th. However, the official identities of the bodies recovered, including today's, have not yet been confirmed by the government. The situation has sparked anger among people of Manipur who are demanding answers and accountability from the government. A shooting incident at the PWD guest house in Jiribam district last night left 1 youth dead and another seriously injured. The incident occurred around 10:40 p.m. when retired Colonel and present Senior SP Combat Nectar reportedly fired at a mob. The deceased is identified as 23-year-old Athoba Singh, son of K.H. Tomba Singh of Kamaranga, who succumbed to bullet injuries to his chest. Another victim, 30-year-old Kaisam Benson, son of K. Bizen Singh of Jiribam, Vidyanagar, sustained injuries in the abdomen and hip area. Due to the severity of his injuries, Benson was transferred from Jiribam to Silchar Hospital for further treatment. A witness, Kadrimayum Debashis, narrated that while the youth of Jiribam were gathering at Irabot complex waiting from the appointment of SP of Jiribam, Officer Nectar, allegedly under the influence of alcohol, arrived at the scene and engaged in a heated argument with the crowd, firing blank shots and reportedly attempt to assault a woman. Following the altercation, Nectar fled to the PWD guest house and the enraged mob pursued him to his residence where the situation escalated. Nectar allegedly opened fire at the retreating crowd, resulting in the fatal shooting of Athoba Singh and injuries to Kaisam Benson. It is reported that the mob had set ablaze fire to some of the construction materials kept in his residence. The incident has sparked public outrage, with irate public taking up protests demanding his termination and justice today. President of Waset N. Nivarani Devi condemned the killing, describing it as an unjust act against a student. She called for Nectar's immediate termination from his position. According to the Kokomi Youth Front, the deceased person turns out to be one of its members from the Jiribam branch. In a press meet held at Kwarambankai held today, the coordinator of Kokomi Students Wing, Ningthausam Dhanakumar Meitei, demanded termination of Nectar with immediate effect and justice. The Kanglei Park Students Association and the Manipur Students Federation also called for justice.
Senior SP na Madam Sadana Jiribam da Lakiraga Akogi Madam Marale Jadaba Satra ama Kundapam Atoba Paparam Tomba Lepamna Kamanka the Gi Marang Madam Sadana Mana pulled the Noxelaga Akogi Asimana Satra Hapase Akoi Jiribangi Pazana Zanide Kandem Tawi Aduma station the Chandra and station, not the station like the Hide. Like the Havadina, my guest house, only the guest house to Salazana, my arms a corner, guest house to Jingle Baneva. Jingle Pagita, Miziga, Aquazilla, Jutnam Zilaga, get you more white Hanazi to go, Kajawagi, the minor captain, on a washing Hangalak Paneva. Manu the game around the Calcova. My arms a question, Jimmy, film like Luga, get a door, Hamdura, Hector Madi, Mataki Kata with that guest house, Matake Kaptalaga, Makandama Pale, Queen Pado. Aduma kuda ta legidre on spot dead oire amada khana de chelam adagi sum lekhari en tawi mana ganda panle maruje.
Meanwhile, state government has discontinued the service of Nectar Sanjanbam as senior SP combat and formed an inquiry committee to investigate the confrontation between a special commando team led Nectar and protesters. The order was issued with the approval of the competent authority as per an official statement from the Chief Secretary Dr. Vinay Joshi. As per the order, the inquiry committee will be chaired by Inspector General of Police Intelligence Kabib K and Deputy Inspector General Range 3 Ningshen Worngam as a member. The committee has been tasked with investigating the causes and circumstances of the incident, identifying any contributing factors and determining if any foul play by individuals or authorities was involved. Further, the committee has been directed to initiate its inquiry immediately and submit its findings within 30 days. In a significant political development, several office bearers and executive members of the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP Jiribam Mandal have tendered their resignations, citing the worsening situation in Jiribam and Manipur as a whole. The group, led by President K. Jadoo Singh, submitted their resignation letters to the President of the BJP Manipur Pradesh, expressing their dissatisfaction with the current state of affairs in the region. In their resignation letter, the office bearers stated that they were compelled to step down due to the unwelcome and helpless situation prevailing in both Jiribam and the border state of Manipur. They expressed their inability to continue their association with the party under the current circumstances. The resignation was signed by the President K. Jadoo Singh, Vice President, General Secretary, and 5 other executive members of the BJP Jiribam Mandal. The letter requested that the BJP Manipur Pradesh leadership accept their resignations. The National President of the NPP and Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad K. Sangma, reaffirmed that the party's MLAs in Manipur have decided to withdraw their support for the N. Biren Singh-led BJP government in the state. According to Sangma, this decision follows the deteriorating governance situation in Manipur over the past week. Speaking to few reporters on the sidelines of the 4th edition of the Shillong Literary Festival at World's Leg in Shillong, Sangma emphasized that the NPP would reconsider its stance on supporting the BJP government in Manipur depending on any leadership changes or positive developments aimed at restoring normalcy in the state. While acknowledging that Chief Minister N. Biren Singh may not be pleased with the party's move, Sangma stated that the NPP would view it as a positive step if Biren Singh presents a comprehensive plan to bring peace to Manipur.
Improve in Manipur from government side, central government, with state government. Different efforts were made, and our objective was to see that normalcy would return. It was not about politics as such, and hence we were hoping and we were supporting in the hope that we would be able to see the situation improve and normalcy would return in the state of Manipur. But in the last 1 week, we have seen the situation further deteriorate. I also would like to share that I have been discussing with a number of leaders from the center and the BJP also, and sharing with them that it is important to create a confidence building measure and trust in the system and the overall scenario out there. Because of the trust deficit, the overall activities and the actions being taken are not reaching to a logical conclusion.
In a significant development that contrasts with the stance of the National People's Party (NPP), the Naga People's Front (NPF) Manipur State Unit, led by President and Minister Awangbo Nyomai, has decided to extend its support to the N. Biren Singh-led BJP government. Minister Nyomai, while speaking to the media at the party's office today in Imphal, emphasized the importance of backing the government during the current crisis in order to effectively address the prevailing issues. Nyomai strongly condemned the tragic incident on September 11th when 6 women and children were abducted and allegedly killed later following an attack in Jiribam. Calling the act inhuman and intolerable, he expressed his deep concern over the brutality of the attack. He further conveyed his hopes that such an incident would not be repeated in the future. The NPF leader also noted that the present government had taken all possible steps to locate and rescue the abducted individuals, highlighting the efforts made to respond to the crisis. In his remarks, Nyomai stressed that supporting the current administration was crucial to resolving the ongoing challenges in the state and ensuring stability in the region.
We also appeal to all the publics to restrain from violence. Even though we appreciate the organizations' appeal for bringing early peace in the state, organizations or whoever should not take law into their own hand. We also condemn individuals and groups who have vandalized, looted some of our state MLAs and ministers' house. This kind of act will not solve the problem. This will only aggravate the situation. We should work together with the government. Public should work together with the government. All the communities and the state, especially the leaders, should come together and find solution through dialogue. Government alone at this juncture should not be held responsible. Publics also need to understand.
The Congress party today called for the resignation of Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh over the ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur, which has been rising since May last year. At a press conference in Delhi, Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh accused the Home Minister of failing to protect the people of Manipur, particularly women and children, during the crisis. He also criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi for not visiting the state despite the worsening situation, urging him to travel to Manipur before the upcoming parliament session and convene an all-party meeting to address the unrest. Ramesh stated that while Modi had travelled internationally, he had not spared time for Manipur, where law and order has collapsed. The Manipur Congress President K. Meghachandra Singh echoed these concerns, noting that abductions, killings and extortions were increasing in the state. He also reminded Modi of his 2017 election statement that those unable to ensure peace in Manipur should not govern, questioning the effectiveness of the double-engine government. Both leaders demanded accountability, with Meghachandra calling for the resignation of Chief Minister Biren Singh, stating that he no longer had the right to govern.
प्रधानमंत्री को तुरंत मणिपुर जाना चाहिए, तुरंत सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलानी चाहिए मणिपुर के पार्टियों के साथ, नेताओं के साथ, राष्ट्रीय पार्टी राष्ट्रीय नेताओं के साथ, संसद के में नेताओं के साथ। और जिस तरीके से कई महीने पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये कहा था कि मणिपुर में सारी जो संवैधानिक तंत्र है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मशीनरी है, वो टूट चुका है। उस जानकारी के बावजूद आप इस मुख्यमंत्री को पद पर ये बैठे रहे हैं, ये समझ में नहीं आता।
Honorable Prime Minister Su said the presidency ministers of Manipur is no right to continue, as is also stated in 2017 too. So the presidency minister has no right to continue the administration there in the state. So now I just want to urge the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, he should immediately visit Manipur.
A crucial meeting convened by Manipur Chief Minister with NDA ministers and MLAs began at 6 p.m. today to review the deteriorating law and order situation in the state. Ahead of the meeting, the Chief Minister's office had issued a formal communication to the Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity, COCOMI, urging them to refrain from any violent forms of agitation during this sensitive period. The letter, signed by Secretary to the Chief Minister Ningthozam Geoffrey, emphasized the need for a collective approach to address the prevailing issues. The meeting comes amidst rising tensions in the state, with the government seeking cooperation from stakeholders to restore normalcy. Meanwhile, the suspension of internet and mobile data services in 7 districts, including Imphal West, Imphal East, Bisnupur, Thoubal, Kaching, Kangpokpi, and Churchandpur, has been extended for another 2 days by the state government. The new order stated that the internet ban are exempted for those lease lines and FTTH connections to government offices or any case whereby the state government grants exemption. This decision was made in response to concerns over the potential misuse of social media by anti-social elements to spread inflammatory content, hate speech, and false rumors, which could escalate tensions and disrupt public order. The government has warned that any violations of this directive could result in legal action. The Assam Rifles organized a security coordination meeting at Lailofai near Sugnu Iron Bridge, Churchandpur district yesterday to ensure peace and harmony in Manipur. A high-level security meeting was convened, bringing together key representatives from Assam Rifles, Manipur Police, BSF, and ITBP to include DIG Kaching and Thoubal, DC Kaching, SP Kaching, and SI Churchandpur district. The meeting aimed to strengthen the coordination among security agencies and ensure peace and stability in the region. During the meeting, emphasis was given on enhanced vigilance, joint patrolling, harvesting protection, and proactive measures to address any emerging situation. The meeting concluded with a joint resolution to intensify efforts towards a secure and harmonious environment in fringe areas bordering Kaching, Bisnupur, and Churchandpur districts. Lilong Assembly Constituency MLA Abdul Nasir has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging decisive action in response to the volatile situation in Manipur following the brutal killing of 3 women and 3 children, including an 8-month-old infant, who were held hostage for several days. Describing the act as inhuman and barbaric, Nasir condemned the perpetrators as cowards for targeting vulnerable women and children, a violation of global humanitarian norms. In his letter, the MLA expressed deep anguish and extended condolences to the bereaved families. He urged the Prime Minister to publicly denounce the killings and take immediate measures, including declaring the perpetrators as terrorists, passing a parliamentary resolution condemning the act, and ensuring swift justice with exemplary punishment. Nasir also called for an amendment to Article 3 of the Indian Constitution to preserve Manipur's territorial integrity, emphasizing the need for urgent intervention to restore peace in the state. The Manipur High Court has directed the state government and other respondents to submit their replies within 4 days regarding a public interest litigation PIL filed by one R.K. Joysana Singh and Y. Mangi Singh. The PIL seeks urgent action to ensure law and order is maintained in the state and citizens' lives are protected. A division bench comprising Chief Justice Siddharth Mridul and Justice Golmai Gaifulsilu Kabui heard arguments from senior counsel M. Hemchandra representing the petitioners. Hemchandra cited the Supreme Court's 1996 judgment in NHRC versus State of Arunachal Pradesh, emphasizing the state's constitutional duty to protect lives and uphold the rule of law regardless of political circumstances. The petitioners limited their relief to actionable measures ensuring peace and order restoration. Deputy Advocate General H. Devendra and Senior PCCG W. Darakishore Singh, representing the respondents, accepted notices and requested time to file replies. The court, acknowledging the urgency of the situation, directed all respondents to file affidavits by November 22nd and scheduled the next hearing for November 25th. Furthermore, copies of the order were distributed to councils for immediate compliance. The Manipur Students Association Chandigarh MSAC organized a solemn candlelight vigil at the Students Centre, Punjab University tonight, calling for justice for the victims of recent atrocities in Manipur. The event highlighted the brutal rape and murder of 3 women and 3 children allegedly perpetrated by Kuki militants who were reportedly abducted from a relief camp in Jiribam. Participants expressed deep angst over these heinous crimes, condemning the violation of human rights and humanity itself. The vigil aimed to draw national attention to the plight of internally displaced persons and demanded immediate action against the perpetrators. With the slogan, "Break the Silence, Stop the Violence," MSAC urged authorities to ensure justice and restore peace in the conflict-torn region. In response to the recent killings of women and children by suspected Kuki militants in Jiribam, local communities in Khangabok and Thobal districts held protests and vigils to express their condemnation and solidarity with the victims. Last night, the Khangabok Apunbalai Shabi, supported by various volunteer groups including the Khangabok Joint Coordinating Committee, Khangabok Defence Force and the Village Volunteer Force, organized a candlelight vigil in Khangabok. The gathering was marked by a 2-minute silence in honor of the departed souls, with participants chanting slogans condemning the killings of civilian women and children. They demanded justice for the victims and called for the eradication of Kuki militants from Manipur. The protesters also called on elected representatives to take responsibility for protecting the lives of the people.
Manipur ki MLA minister na miyam ki punche Manipur ki MLA minister na miyam ki punche Manipur ki MLA minister na miyam ki punche.
Simultaneously, a tourist rally was held in Thobal district, particularly led by the women of Salungpham. Organized by the United Club Salungpham and the Salungpham Apun Bamera Paibi, the rally began and ended at the Salungpham Mathak Lekai Chingtam High School ground. The procession passed through various streets of Salungpham before concluding with a 2-minute silence in tribute to the victims. During the rally, the president of Salungpham Apun Bamera Paibi, Thingbaizam Nganbi Ton Lema, expressed her heartbreak over the incident and questioned the role of the Indian government, asking whether Jiribam was not part of Manipur. She strongly condemned the government's alleged support for the Kuki militants, accusing them of attempting to wipe out the Meitei population. Protesters shouted slogans against the Kuki militants, referring to them as animals, and demanded the resignation of elected representatives, insisting on justice for the victims.
Jiri haibalamdam se Manipur saruk aman natrabra India government ngasi kuki gi matung da le peraga makoina karigumba amata walhandabagi Manipur haibalamdam sida leiriba maitai haiba phurup sibu manghanabagi damakta asuki matik moina lalong ama selaga ngasi chathara ibalal asida misi mina kaya yaura ibasing aikoi mama oibi amau aina aina ngasi leidana taduna leiba ngamde adubu India government nakoi khango kuki singa maruk oidok saruk pudi maitai haiba pikraba phurup marok sing leiba mapangal leiba Tribida ngasi phawgi manungda British hariba samurai numi taba naidaba samurai na bawba maithiba piba ngamgidaba Manipur maitai haiba zati sibu nakoina namthani haiduna kuki bu khulai oina sinaraga ngasi Manipur bu maitai bu ngasi nakoina asiguma lalong ama silaga tawbijidi natik sunate Manipur dagi kuki jingi lam machet ama phaba piba ngamoi aduga India government nakoi bhap taw Narendra Modi amadi Manipur gi Mithibong mitamhal oraba Chief Minister amadi MLA Mantri Madon Singh nakoi su bhap taw Manipur haiba sana lepang Manipur se laina thabalamdamni mutpasu yaroi ngasi kuki sing gi mathakta icha jing lekhidaba mayam sing ji gi songsoi soidana igi laman singdana ngasi kuki sing bo Manipur tagi maru phangna mutha.
A candlelight protest was also held at Bangalore last night by the Karnataka Meitei Association to condemn the brutal killing of women and children by Chin Kuki Jau militants. The protest held at AVC The Ground in Vivek Nagar expressed outrage at the senseless and barbaric killings. The association condemned the violence, calling it an inhuman act that shocked the conscience of the nation. In their statement, the association demanded an immediate military crackdown on the militants, the withdrawal of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act from 6 police stations in Manipur, and enhanced coordination between central forces and the Manipur police. They also called for compensation for the families of the slain victims. The peaceful protest was a show of solidarity with the victims and a call for justice and security for vulnerable communities in Manipur. A condolence service and candlelight vigil were also organized by the Aurora Club and Library along with the Lamzing Meira Paibi at Laifam Kuno, Maninglekai to mourn the tragic killings of 6 women and children by Kuki militants. The event helped to honor the victims, so community members coming together in solidarity, expressing their grief and outrage over the brutal attack. Participants also called for justice and an end to violence, with hopes for peace and security to be restored in the region. For the second time, a group of irate protesters thronged at the residence of Kesamthong Assembly Constituency MLA Sapam Nishikant at Thauda Bhabok Lekai yesterday evening, voicing their anger over the ongoing situation in Manipur. The protesters, who were particularly enraged by the recent reports of women and children being killed by suspected Kuki militants in Jiribam after abduction, demanded that Nishikant, currently in the national capital, return to Manipur and provide a clear stance on the state's prevailing crisis. The protesters who thronged at the MLA residence also talked with the MLA through phone. The first attack at the residence of Nishikant was carried out on September 16, soon after receiving the report of women and children being killed by Kuki militants. During the incident, the mob had vandalized the sentry post at his residence.
May sakwa kama lebak si may sakwa loreng thola kaya berapa? Kesamong kian dari mihula mo era kanda, aduan dari nyok nang loli tu kari kino. Lo apa nanti nang thola kom dokto, nangi kesamong kian dari nangi perdana, asulang wana lera kanda, nangi kami nanti mong dari naya saja ya bro. Sudah ning berapa tahero? Ayam ning berapa?
In a significant move against illegal gambling, the Khangabok Apunma Meira Paibe Loop today destroyed gambling items, including dice, popularly known as lagao, that had been confiscated during the Diwali festival. The items were set ablaze at Khangabok Lamlong Bazaar. Speaking to the media, the Joint Secretary of the Khangabok Apunma Maira Paibilup, Ilangbam Ongbi Sanatombi Devi, explained that the gambling materials were seized because they were being used in defiance of the local ban on gambling, which had been imposed due to the ongoing unrest in Manipur. She emphasized that such activities were not only illegal but also disrespectful of the community's efforts to maintain peace and order during the current situation. In addition, Sanatombi announced restriction for the Khangabok area, stating that no liquor vendors or coffee shops would be allowed to operate after 8 p.m. each day. This decision, she said, was aimed at curbing disturbances and ensuring better control over the area's nightlife in light of the prevailing circumstances. Before we wind up, let's have a quick look at the top news headlines once again. One more body recovered from Barak River, bringing toll to 6 as public believes victims are abducted 6 women and children by suspected Kukimar militants. Government withholds confirmation. Government discontinues Senior SP Nectar and launches investigation after alleged involvement in fatal shooting and inquiry during mob incident. BJP Jiribam Mandal office bearers resign over worsening situation in Manipur, cite helplessness amid growing crisis. NPP President Conrad Sangma reaffirms withdrawal of support for N. Biren Singh's BJP government in Manipur, stresses reconsideration pending leadership changes or peace initiatives. NPF pledges loyalty to N. Biren-led government, unlike NPP's stance, condemns killing of abducted women and children by Kuki militants. And Congress demands resignations of Amit Shah and N. Biren over escalating violence in Manipur, criticizes Modi for inaction and calls for accountability. Well, that's all for now. Keep watching IS News and good night.